Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justice Severin here from the original chapters. Today we are breaking down my TTT formula, traffic through trust, right? Really breaking down how to get new customers and really turn an audience of buyers into opportunities for your business. All right, so go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to make sure you get in tune for the rest of our videos coming up. And this was a live that we did right inside of my original chapters marketing Facebook group. So let's go ahead and get right to it. All right, so today we're really discussing the topics of traffic and getting customers. All right, going in depth on really how to turn an audience of buyers into opportunities for you and your business. All right, at the end of the day, super crucial. You know, people always wondering what it's going to be that's going to move the needle, push the needle forward in their business. And realistically, knowing how to market is one of the top three things you need in order to have a successful 5-figure business, 6-figure business. All right, 5-figure per month business. You know, these are the things that got me to my first 5-figure month: marketing, sales, realistically copywriting. Those three right there, knowing how to utilize them all, it will make you money and be able to print money in your business. So I really want you guys to keep that in mind there and just elevate with it. So without further ado, let's just kind of dive in. Like I said, today we're really discussing TTT, traffic through trust. Okay, going in depth here. So really, I want to kind of start off with the basics here. Importance of building a brand, okay? So a lot of people now, when there kind of comes to, all right, how do I get traffic? Like I said, traffic through trust. How do I get this traffic? And more importantly, how do I get it so that they're trusting me? When I was starting off, a lot of the times when I was even getting traffic. You know me, I'm focused on Facebook organic. That's where a lot of us are placing our energy. Realistically, when I was trying to get traffic in the beginning, I might have been getting traffic. I was starting conversations, even having conversations, getting them moving. But now when I was myself, I like to get people on the phone. And so now when I'm on the phone now, I was having a tough time closing people. I'm getting on the phone, I'm giving them my pitch, giving them my best stuff, giving them that sweet sauce that I think it is, and they're just not buying into it. It seemed like day and day out. I remember early on, I went like a whole month where I was just cold. I promoted a high ticket offer. I still obviously promote a high ticket offer. And I only made some low ticket sales that month. And so realistically, I had to sit back. I started trying to once again network, see what was it. Like, I knew that I was doing something right. I was getting the traffic. And I was also getting people to my front door, getting people to talk to me, but I wasn't closing them. And it's like, was it my offer? Was it my pitch? I think, sure. You could say that all that wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, that's not the main reason every time. I promise you that. It's never just one thing. Oh, I didn't make these sales my last 10 sales busted. It was all for X reason. No, your last 10 sales calls busted, or your last conversations busted because of, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, Y. It's like, really, there's a lot of different pieces there for why you're kind of that failed. Once again, it just didn't work for me. Out of those, I was booking 15 calls a week, practically 10 to 15 calls a week when I was looking at it that month. And like I said, I didn't get any high ticket. It was all just a couple low tickets there. And like I said, I really had to kind of go back, see what was going on, talk to some people. And really what I kind of found out even more so was that, you're getting the traffic. Yeah, you're getting people to talk to you. You're getting into the conversations. You're ahead of the curve in that space. But once again, how great is that if you're not able to convert them? You're not able to actually get them to really buy what you have. Listen, they're hearing your offer, but they're not hearing your offer. They're not taking it to because something's off there. All right, so let me tell you what a big piece of that is. How is it set up in your business before you get in that conversation? If we're on, let's just say, scratch the sales side, the sales call side. Let's just say you're on a messenger. Maybe your strategy doesn't require you getting on the phone. How does it appear to them before they get on the phone with you, before they get in that messenger conversation with you? How do you appear to them before you get in that phone call with them? That is what I mean when I say building a brand can be so powerful there, because at the end of the day, it's really pre-framing is a powerful term there in this industry, and I think you really can't underestimate it. You have to pre-frame how the customer sees you before you even talk to them. I can't stress enough how much that helps me in my business today, and it's based off of all the legwork I've done in the past. Having something built up so now, but before people even get in a conversation with me, they already have a general idea of how I can help them. And that just makes now every word that comes out of my mouth, it adds that much more power to it, that much more influence to it. So at the end of the day, a lot of the reason too, when we're talking about why is it important to build a brand, you're building a brand to help yourself close the sale. You think it's not a big deal, and at the end of the day, I did not, was my brand solidified when I was making my first high ticket sales? No, but at the end of the day, I at least had something there. And even though there was no recognition before, people saw my name, they didn't think two things of it, but they could see my branding and that it at least came across as consistent, came across as intentional. And now once again, when they're getting on with me, on the phone with me, starting a conversation with me, it heads that much more in the right direction. All right, so once again, in the beginning, I think that even still, like I said, I was consistent, but the branding wasn't super strong. And so I think that also played a big effect into why I wasn't closing those sales. Like I said, I was booking 10 to 15 calls a week that month, and I was not getting sales. I was getting the traffic, right? We're over here talking today, traffic through trust. I was getting the traffic. But what good is the traffic if you can't close and convert it? So I want to stress to you how big it really is having that brand there, and how much easier it's going to make your life when it comes to actually purchasing. Think about your favorite YouTubers, your favorite whatevers, TikTokers, maybe Facebook, organic players in this game. Think about them and their branding. When they put an offer out there, how much more likely are you to buy it? Or you're at least intrigued if you're not actually going to pull your wallet out. And that's because they have that branding there. And I think that I put this on my personal story the other day on my profile. People a lot of the time think, you know what? They think short term. They think this is going to help me tomorrow. Let's just do this. Let's just focus on this. They're not thinking, I'm not talking here about like a 5-year plan. I'm not talking nothing like that. But just think about, how is the moves you're making today going to affect you a month from today? And maybe even if not a year, 6 months today, but even a year from today. I think for me and a lot of people, that's more like I can see that much more. When people talk about the whole 5 years, it's a little harder to grasp right there. So yeah, at the end of the day, build that brand, and that's going to help you to convert your traffic so much more. I like to say traffic through trust. People trust someone when they can see that they're doing something consistently, moving with intentionality. All right, so now let's also talk about warm versus cold leads. I think that I already talked about this and kind of the benefits. You'll hear me talk about this before in the past. I'll talk about it again right now. Warm versus cold leads. When you're talking cold leads, it's definitely going to be harder to close them. Now, but at the end of the day, I made my first 5-figure month basically off of cold leads, you could say. And realistically, that happened because I was proactive and I was staying with it. Of course, it wasn't as great in the beginning. You're struggling. You're trying to just stay consistent with what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it gets still tough. Still tough to try to make it happen that way. So at the end of the day, I want to see you working towards getting those warm leads there. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you can do cold outreach. And like I said, I've had plenty of success. I still have success. I just closed a sale literally this morning from a cold outreach. But at the end of the day, if that's all I'm relying on, it just makes it a little harder. And once again, if you're in this industry, you have to be ready for rejection, or else you're in for a rude awakening. The way I heard this saying before, if you haven't pissed anyone off by noon, you're messing up, type of thing. So at the end of the day, you need to keep on staying consistent with your strategy, whatever it is. Don't let anyone get you down. At the end of the day, you got to keep pushing because no one else will do it for you. That's why we're not working a 9 to 5, just that we can go ourselves and take it the extra mile there. So that's how the cold lead side is there now, where I love it. I do love the cold side because it allows you to be super proactive. And the fact that every day you can just go, especially if you're adding people to your network, adding people to your friends list, subscribers, whatever it is there, you can be super proactive. Now, I kind of see that more so with the Facebook organic side, how cold can be super effective. But now if we're talking warm audience, I even gave an example before about YouTube, TikTok, any kind of platform that someone's been building. Now they're so much more likely to be interested and inclined to actually, even if they're not going to buy, they're going to stick around there and keep watching. And like they say in email marketing, it takes about 5-7 touches before someone's ready to pull their wallet out. So keep that in mind there. Super important, super crucial as to actually helping yourself. So once again, it goes right back. All these things tie together. Traffic through trust. Importance of building your brand, aka gives you warm leads. That's what it does here. So I love how that attractive side of it, and realistically, without even having a brand, you can make lead magnets, and this can be a super powerful way of getting warm leads as well. Getting someone to say, hey, I can help you. I have something right now that can give you this result. I have a tangible piece right here that's going to help you to do exactly what it is that my target audience has been looking for. How do you know what your target audience has been looking for? By doing research and getting out there. If you're doing this organically, keep track of your messenger conversations, your phone calls. Listen to what people are telling you. We're in the relationship business. We're in the people business. Like, you have to pay attention and realize what's going on around you. Know your industry. You want to get traffic, know your industry, because that's going to help you to convert the traffic once you get it. It's not enough just getting the traffic, getting the people. Traffic is people. It's not enough just doing that. It's knowing how to close them. At the end of the day, you can have all the traffic in the world. How many people do you think, even maybe including yourself, have run a Facebook campaign? They get a ton of clicks, thousands of clicks, 0 buys. Do those clicks mean anything to you at that point? Not a thing. So it's not just the traffic that we're looking for here. It's also how to convert that traffic. And that's why I'm saying the people who are converting the best, the people with the big brands, and what the people with the big brands have is they have the ability to generate warm leads from their branding. So at the end of the day, you don't need to have a big brand to get these warm leads. You can still do it through writing enticing content, getting people in the door that way. Just building up baby steps to the brand. That's why I say think big. Don't just think tomorrow. Think about what you can do this week in order to continue to grow your brand, so that now, a month from now, you'll be thanking yourself. Like, don't sacrifice a quick win today for the long-term success that you can have, because I promise you it won't work out that way. All right, so now that's why I have to say on the warm lead side. But once again, cold leads. I've made 5 figures, my first 5-figure month, almost solely off of cold leads there. So at the end of the day, I'm not downing that at all, because I still am a big believer of it. I'm just a believer in merging the both. You guys know I speak from my own experience in everything that I do. I think that realistically, you just have to understand that they're both powerful, but don't just rely on one over the other. Now look at this. To flip it on, like I say, don't just rely on cold leads. Don't just rely on warm leads. At the end of the day, if that's what you're waiting for constantly, until you're at that mega level. Myself, I'm not at that mega level. I want to make sure I'm still doing what I can to be proactive, and still make sure that I have leads coming in, inbound and outbound, that I'm reaching out for and that are coming to me. I want to use up the time. Like, I have the time and energy to make it happen. I'm going to do that because I have goals and numbers I want to break and meet every day. So I'm going to do what I can to kind of get there, and I encourage you to do the same. So, next, getting customers. Getting customers here. I could go on a tangent on the getting customers in general as well. I feel like I saw that there was this kind of a topic that someone had placed here. So I think Ruben put this one here. So realistically, when it comes to getting customers, I think that once again, this all trickles right down. Traffic through trust. Importance of building a brand. Warm leads versus cold leads. Getting customers. Everything I just said before, prior to getting customers, that's how it happens there. Yes, it talks about, you have to go out there and find out how to get the traffic, get the great traffic method, and now actually start getting those customers, getting those people, those prospects, and converting them. Now, how do you convert them and turn these prospects, potential customers, into customers? You do that by having them believe in you, by that trust right there. They have to trust that you're someone who can help them. And so at the end of the day, once again, you have a conversation with them. If they don't trust you, why would they buy? They're not going to buy, I'll tell you that much. So that's why getting customers starts with building that trust. And so even if you're going on the cold aspect, you have to lead the conversation that you're the expert here. You're an expert. You have to start digging hidden pain points. You have to show that you're enthusiastic and that you're someone who's sharp as a tack and that can actually help them get to where they want to get to. All right. That is how you get customers. Once again, you see the traffic coming, right? You see traffic. Maybe you have your traffic strategy. You're working it. You're plugging away. But just because you have traffic does not mean you have customers. It doesn't work that way there. You have to now find a way to convert these people. And the way you do that, like I said, traffic through trust. Build that brand up. So now when you're having a conversation with these potential customers, they actually are willing to now spend some money and invest in you. The sale I had today, I had to convince someone, but also, of course, Just because they're a warmer lead doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. That's never been the case. You still have to put in the work. But at the end of the day, that's why I say at the end of the day, you really have to now, you get them in the door, whether they're a warm lead or cold lead, you still have to have a pitch that helps them. So how do you do that? You listen to their problems. You listen to their problems, you listen to their pains, you know where they're at, and you get past the surface level. You know, the surface level is that's never going to get the job done. You have to go below. Why are you here? Why now? You know? Once you start really knocking in on these, it changes everything. It changes everything in the conversation, and now they're realizing that the person they're talking to, this is someone who can genuinely help them. And now all of a sudden it goes from us talking with a stranger to talking with someone who can change their life. You know, that's the position you need to be in when you're in these conversations, when you're talking to these traffic, you know, these people, these potential prospects, these potential customers, and that's how you convert them into actually being customers there. All right, so once again, it really all trickles right down right there. Like I said, you know, it starts with the traffic through trust and the importance of building a brand. That branding is gonna initially just feed the conversation that much more. I can't tell you how many people I have reach out to me even where I'm not initiating anything. Like I said, leads right into the warm versus cold leads. I'll take a warm lead over cold lead any day, but I'm never gonna just rely on the warm leads. Is if I do that, now I'm just sitting there waiting. That's why I encourage Facebook Organic, because it allows us to be proactive. It allows us to now put our foot on the gas when things are going slow in another area and just go all in. Like I said, that's the reason why I was able to hit my first 5 figures, because of cold outreach. I'm not going to stop right now. And until your brain is blown up enough now, like we're not Grant Cardone and Russell Brunson out here. We need to do what we can to keep the ball moving, okay? You know, we're not David Sharp, Jacob Karras. We're none of these guys. We need to make sure that we're doing what we can to stay consistent, and that means not just relying on people coming to us. Like I said, yeah, great for me. I have some people coming to me where they're saying, hey, I'm interested in what you got. If that's all I'm waiting for, like I said, that's not going to be enough there. So stay proactive. When you're being proactive, you want to get customers. You know, you get that through the traffic to get the customers. You get these customers now. You got the trust built up. Now you close. Too many people out there, closed mouths don't get fed. Too many people out there are not putting offers out there when they need to. They just keep talking. And they keep talking and talking and talking. You know, you need to take yourself out of your own shoes and look down at yourself. Like I tell people, well, some of the best things you can do is review what you said in these conversations that didn't work out, and the ones that did work out in these sales calls and whatever it is. Review it and watch yourself. That's going to be some of the best lessons that you can learn. You're going to see it because you're going to know. We're all professional customers. How many things have we bought in our lives? You know, so use that knowledge, review what you're doing, and then adjust from there. At the end of the day, we need to have a strong pitch. We need to actually have an offer that can help them. Just having that branding isn't enough. You know, so at the end of the day, focus there, dive in, and this is how you're going to make it happen, all right? Like I said, TTT today. Traffic through trust. Getting customers through trust. Making sales through trust. And let me leave it on this note. It doesn't end there. You know, people at the end of the day are just leaving people off the dry after they make a sale. After that's done, it's not over. Like I said, building that brand, like, you know, importance of building a brand. You need to actually follow through and over deliver on what you're giving people. All right, you know what? You're going to get ABC when you sign with me today. Now, once they're going with you, I would suggest that you give them DEF after that too. It's like you're better off going that way than giving them A, B, C, D, and then you only give them A and B once they're actually in. Because now people remember that. But people are going to remember and love the people who actually go above and beyond for them. So keep that in mind there. I have to take off today, but once again, thank you, Ruben and David, for submitting these topics. You guys know what to do for the next one. Let me know what's on your mind, where you're at in your business, where you're struggling. Justice for Affiliates, fam. Till next time, you guys have a great weekend. Hey, enjoy. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel and absolutely go ahead and join us in our Original Chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.